Hey, it's the Normal Playing Guide. Hey, guess what? STR Jiren. Woohoo! It's time for an Easy A video. So I've been trying to figure out a good way to put this guy in, because I mean, there's lots of events he'd crush. Docking events, he'd crush, and you know, he's not a stacking unit. And then you got Fight and Legend events, but by now they've become too easy. And again, he's not a stacking unit. He's good for the short haul, I think. So I'm going to test him as a roundabout way of use, and I think the good way to start off would be to put him into the Super Battle Road for Tournament of Power, because you can blend him in with some other Universe 11 and we'll see how it goes. So just give me a hot minute and I'll jump straight into it. And yes, as you can see, this is it. So we're going to be rocking the full 170% for the Universal Survival Saga, which is pretty good. We have a 100% LR Jiren, so that's going to be really good. And then we have Topo, who's a really good support, MVP 17 is a good support, and a couple of other LRs who are very good in terms of linking partners, right? So this will be pretty good. We've got a 90% and they got 100% on a Rainbow LR. So let's see how well this fares. So we actually have, funny enough, both of them on the same rotation, and they have a defensive support from MVP 17. Honestly, you probably couldn't ask for a better start. So do we lose any more just by putting them on? No, we don't. So we can put him in slot 1. Off the bat, what do we get? Wow. Okay, that's not bad. Start of turn, we get 272,000. You actually do beat the LR coming in at 243, which is pretty good. How is he this good? Well, both the LR and Jiren both have 200% stats at the start of turn, which is really, really good. STR Jiren's getting himself 2 key, and by the start of all the turn, he has a 30% chance to stun all enemies, for which I don't think he's actually got the stun applied. He does actually have. So the little logo there, they are all stunned. This is perfect. This is brilliant. So you're super effective against all types, against one enemy, so we're not going to have that. You do reduce damage by 30% when facing 2 or more enemies. That we're going to have. We have 50% to raise out. We rate 50% on stats and a high chance to stun on super attack, of which I'll further 50%, which is pretty great. We're just going to keep doing this as we go through. He performs a critical hit when stunned. If this is the chance where you stun the entire rotation, we're going to have a guaranteed crit. And of course, we get 111% extra to stats and perform a crit hit if there's a TOP or tournaments category enemy, which we bloody well do, which is why. So he's getting like 311%. So let's have a look. So we'll just give him this, and we'll give him this. So this is going to be a really spicy attack. So let's see. So that 30% came in real clutch. 8.45. Wow. So he's getting 50% on super attack, as well as having a 50% super attack effect, and he's just wasted it with 8.45. 3.64 from the LR, right? Okay, granted, he has not 24 key, right? Granted. But yeah, he kind of got blown away. Hell, even MVP 17 coming in with a pretty solid 5.5 is beating the LR. Wow, what a rotation. Do we stun everybody on this rotation? We do not, no. So I think we're just going to blitz ahead. Again, having that chance is going to be really good. This Jiren in particular is going to be super effective against all types because there's one enemy at the start of this turn, so this is good. But I feel like we're going to blitz this. So we'll just keep this rotation as it is. And wow, we just managed to blitz this. When this first came out, this stage, it was kind of tricky. It was kind of powerful. And that's because Tournament of Power is a pretty busted category, right? It's dropped off a little bit these days with the power creep, but it's still an impressive category going. So this is pretty good. And yes, I know the 9th anniversary does have easy A's for these guys, which apparently are pretty lit. But again, this is all subject to conjecture. Wow, we just absolutely blitzed that one. So how do we fare with this? 5 of them. So they attack a little less, but the potential there to hit everybody, for us to be hit hard, is there. We do not have we do not have the stun. Imagine if you could go into this now, and that 30% chance to proc to stun all enemies is right there, and you could have such a free run. You could no item this just based on it. So once again, we are rocking 260k, 230 from the LR, and we are getting 1 key 40% from Topo, which is brilliant. Now I'm going to pop one of my favourite items, which is this. This nullifies the super attack, so we get to see the raw defensive power. All these super attacks could still hurt us and kill us, there's no doubt. And I've no doubt that they're also going to pop straight off. So this would be a brilliant way of rocking this. I think that these statistically, side by side, the LR and him have very similar mechanic setups, is also pretty insane. Do you know what? Let's try and go for type disadvantage. So let's see how well we do against hit. That'll be pretty good. That's an 18 key at the very least. Yes. See, that 1 key from Topo is helping the LR at the very least here. Okay, so let's see how we fare with this. So we might still potentially... Oh no, we're just totally tanking this. Wow, they just... I was expecting some bigger numbers. He is comfortably 9.28, comfortably holding his own. 9.28. An additional is going to be over 11 million. It's going to be really insane. You could go for additionals. 6 million from the LR. That's better, getting better, because he's, it's his 18 key, so we're getting there. But dude, this guy is just straight off the bat, just absolutely crushing this. So that's really good. I mean, against a TOP, it'd be nice to see how he fares. That's not against a Universal Survival Saga or tournament enemy, because he loses 111%. So you could factor that in. And then, of course, if you do, then of course you'll end up having like 200% instead of 260, or maybe 180. So again, seems impressive from the off. But we'll see. Let's just try and blitz through this, because honestly I feel like we're going to crush this one. If the next one, which I think is going to be the guest, if he enters the rotation... Oh no, it might be ours as well, be both. But if they enter the rotation, there's 30% chances to stun all enemies at the start. That is huge in a situation in this where he's needed. And of course you have damage reduction. So again, we took off their super attacks, but you have 30% damage reduction as well, which is pretty good. Now, of course, if you have 2 or more enemies at the start of the turn and then you go down to 1, you still have that damage reduction because it's at the start of the turn. So that still helps. He is beautifully designed, and of course, we are just absolutely smashing this. I mean, honestly, coming in with 10 million is insane. But no, yeah. So I mean, this will be probably one of his best case scenarios. He's suited for Super Battle Road, and he's suited for teams like this. This would be brilliant. Okay, so the Rainbow's coming in with 237, so am I, but the reason being that is probably because of the links. I'm able to show up a little bit with the links. So let's do this, and then let's see. I don't want to touch on those greens, because I feel like that's going to be a full 24 key. This is no support, raw power. The links we're rocking is Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, and Fierce Battle. The Tournament of Power giving that 3 key as well as 7%, so you've got 3 key coming in really there. So then you've got Fierce Battle, of course, which is a nice 20% attack. At this point, it's probably 15%. Godly Power's coming in with a nice little bit of attack as well as Shocking Speed. So again, everyone's got nice attack stats all going in. So all lovely jubbly there. So raw power, let's see what attack stat we get. The 30% kicks in. 8.45. See, it's hard to tell which one did it, but you got 2 30% chances to stun that rotation, where applicable. Now, of course, some difficult content, you might not be so much so, but even in Extreme Super Battle Road, that's still a thing. That might be the next video, because, that is a bit scarier, right? Okay, so, let's see how these guys can fare. I presume, do I risk it? I could risk it. We could literally die here. But if we do, it'd be a nice short video, because we know how well these guys are going to go, right? We know they're going to crush, and we know they could potentially stun. So let's keep doing this. Let's see what we get with this. Let's see if we can just thin the roster just a wee little bit, because I feel like that's going to be needed. That didn't fall the way I wanted. So you guys got to dodge, because if you don't dodge... okay, well, he's tanking that on his own pretty well. Again, this is Super Battle Road. It's just the standard version. I overestimate just how dangerous this is. It's not scary, this anymore. You can still be caught out, but no. This is not as bad as Extreme Super Battle Road. I keep forgetting. And look at this, a decent setup for this LR. Again, I know not quite the full 24 key, but they're only pumping out like 5 million. So again, it's Jiren's just stealing the show. He's gotta be the best unit on Universe 11 right now, right? Yeah, no doubt when the LR gets his Easy 8, then we're talking probably a ridiculous combination. Okay, so brilliant again. We're now up to 272,000, getting 50% on attack and 50% on super attack effect, which is pretty insane. We also got the stun. Look how easy and fun this is. Because we got the stun, we're able to cherry pick who we want. We're able to put who we want, and we're able to get our rotations all sorted, which would be really good. Of course, MVP 17 really helping out there because he's given that massive amount of defense. And that key, which really, really helps. 8.45, just a casual 8.45. It's going to be really, really nice. Completely wasted. Of course, he does have a 50% chance to stun on super attack just from his passive, which is also really nice. So he has multiple chances of stunning, and of course you get a guaranteed crit when you're stunned, which means that because you'll get it consistently, or rather occasionally, you will just be able to hit hard on the enemy. We didn't get the stun on this one, and we started the turn with just one enemy, so we're going to be super effective. We're going to lose our damage reduction, so we're now up to 237, which is not bad. So he still has the majority of his passive. He's literally just losing out on a few links, but honestly, he's still got quite a few good ones there. The only one we're really missing is Infighter. But let's see. So let's see how he fares this way round. So we'll try and shape it up so we get plenty of orbs for the next one. Though I don't think we're going to get to that point, because we have absolutely blitzed it. 7.7, and this is with just raw links, not the best setup, and no support. We just crushed it. Did I need to use that item before? Arguably yes, because as I say, there was 5 enemies, and with all 5 super you, I know you got damage reduction, but when you're facing type disadvantage and a bunch of neutrals, yeah, at that point you probably are asking for trouble. But that was insanely easy. Now I know it's been a while since I've done this, but honestly, Jiren blew my mind. Being able to stun on nearly all but one rotation, at least for my one. It just goes to show just how impressive his Easy A is. Really outputting the LR, who again, even that full 24 key as you saw, does like 6-7 million, and he's getting there. But this guy is the STR, he's just totally trumped in. So there you go, STR Jiren, real easy. I might step it up on the next video, right? I'll try an extreme Super Battle Road, because that'll be a good stress test. But I feel like that's a good opener. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll get straight into the next one. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Thank you and bye-bye.